Welcome back to the Wildcat Walkthrough presented by Scott's Distributing. I am Danny Scott here with head coach of the Sonora High Wildcats, Kirk Clifton. Coach, how you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you doing, Danny?
I'm doing good. New look for you guys last week, but same results. 62-14 victory over Antelope. You guys are kind of cruising on all cylinders right now. What do you attribute to the success?
Well, we definitely executed better than we did week 2 against Livingston, and it showed on both sides of the ball. We did, blow a couple coverages, which we fixed. That led to their 2 touchdowns, but after that, I don't think they had a whole lot going on. So,
on the defensive side, you guys are just kind of stellar right now, only allowing 14 points defensively. Your offense puts up 62 points, but when your defense is holding opponents to 14, how much easier does that make your job?
I think we've only given up 28 in 3 games. So, what is that? It's less than 14. It definitely, I really feel like if we can hold our opponents to 14 points, we'll find a way to score 15. So it definitely helps. Our challenge this week is much more difficult in another way than anybody we've played so far. So we'll see how it turns out on Friday.
So I talked about your offense a little bit, putting up 62 points. You guys were up 42-14 after the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
That hot start, how much easier does that make your job as a play caller?
Went back and looked, and we only ran 14 plays to score 42 points. So, when you have playmakers and they're very, very intelligent, our entire team is very smart. So you can make adjustments. People are giving us different fronts and different changes, and, they just block their rules, and they're really smart about it. And so, the results are pretty good so far.
Arguably the most impressive thing to me, and that whole 62 points, you didn't have a single guy with more than 5 carries in the game. Mm-hmm. How much easier does that make your job as a play caller when you got so many weapons in the backfield?
Well, yeah, it helps because you don't just have one guy to stop, and you can't just focus on one person. So, yeah, it makes it difficult for, defensive coordinators and other teams for sure.
Sam Alderman last week, your Chicken Ranch Casino player of the game, offensive lineman winning it. Mm-hmm. So he might not get the recognition, scoring the touchdowns and everything, but just talk about Sam.
Yeah, Sam's a 2-year starter for us on both sides of the football. And actually against Oakdale, he probably was the player of the game, but it's, you don't recognize the guys up front. So it's really nice that somebody like him, got the honor this week. He's just a tremendous athlete. He's very different than his brother, Roger. Mm-hmm. Sam's a much better athlete. He's a lot quicker and a lot faster. He ran a 100 meters in the TVL finals last year at 240 pounds and 6'5". So that helps, and he has a tremendous motor. And so, I'm not surprised.
This week, taking on Turlock, probably the toughest game on your schedule, at least to this point. Just talk about what the game plan is going into this week.
Yeah, we just focus on 1 week at a time. So definitely the toughest team on our schedule is because that's who we're playing this week. Turlock, they lost to Rockland, and they beat Tracy, and they lost to Central of Fresno. Central Fresno is the number 1 ranked team in Fresno, and Rockland's like the number 4 ranked team in our section. So they beat a good team and they lost to 2 really good teams. It was really hard for us to find opponents. Nobody wanted to play us. It was really odd. And Turlock had an opening, and I thought, screw it. Sorry for lack of a better term. I just said, let's go for it. Even if we don't win, we're going to get better. They're very big, and their quarterback is really dynamic. Not a really big guy, probably 5'9", 5'10", 170 pounds, but he's magic with the ball in his hands. Extremely quick and fast, and he's really hard to tackle and corral. They got good running back who's got a bunch of offers, and 2 linemen that have offers. They have one guy that's 6'7", 330, and another guy that's 6'3", 285 that's offered by Davis in Nevada, and a couple other guys, stuff like that. So it's a great challenge for us, and I'm looking forward to it. And our guys are going to compete, so I'm not worried about that.
And with that being said, this is your final preseason game before you start league play. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling about the team as a whole as we about to enter league?
Yeah, so far so good. We did have a key injury that one of our key players that he will be back. It'll just be later on in the season. But no, we're getting better, and we're getting better every single day, and that's all you can ask for. So the chips fall where they may.
Awesome. Well, good luck this week, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome back to the Wildcat Walkthrough presented by Scott's Distributing. I'm Danny Scott here with the Chicken Ranch Casino player of the game, Sam Alderman. Sam, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited to have an offensive lineman winning the player of the game. So before we get going, I'm going to ask you a couple rapid-fire questions. So what's your name?
Sam Alderman,
Height and weight?
6'5", 245.
What's your grade?
I'm a senior.
What's your favorite food?
Lasagna.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite football team?
Raiders.
Favorite football player?
Joe Montana.
You play any other sports besides football?
Basketball and track.
And finally, what does it mean to be a Wildcat football player?
Be humble, work hard, be physical.
And so we already talked about you being an offensive lineman, which makes me very excited. So I want to give you the opportunity to talk about what it means to be an offensive lineman to you and why, most people might not see what goes on, but how tight the group is and what does that entire thing mean to you?
Being an offensive lineman, it's a tough challenge. You gotta have chemistry with your teammates. You guys control the game. It all depends on the line.
Absolutely. And then last week, so since you're an offensive lineman and you played defense too, but just talk about the game last week. What led you to winning the player of the game?
I think my ability to sustain blocks and read the defense very well. I think I do a great job at that.
And this week, tough test going against Turlock. How are the guys feeling about playing Turlock this week?
We're feeling good. We're excited. It's going to be a little bit of competition. We're going to go out there and we're going to have fun.
Awesome. Good luck this week, buddy.
Thank you.